all things considered, a wonderful fall afternoon for football here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. First and 10. Donaldson, throw out wide to Walker. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down.
Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10. Play action. Donaldson, he's going to float this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
An early message that this secondary is going to be tested, because even though it fell incomplete, it almost felt like a warning shot to get things going.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. First carry here for Kenneth Walker III. And he'll make it only to the 43, a gain of 2. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. To throw on 3rd down, Donaldson. He'll fire one downfield for Fant, and unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. On the move to his left. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. The Buccaneers are 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They'll run it again with Fournette. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Well, this defense for the Seahawks very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
On 3rd down, Fournette. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. The last series for a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
But give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Donaldson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Devin White defeating the offensive line and getting to the quarterback.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
He's going to look deep down the field. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Taken at the 37. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out. 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. Still a few inches short of a 1st down as they come up now on 2nd down. Off-play action. Buckner. This one taken in by Otten. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Cade Otten. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Bucs get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point up and good by Garibay. And it's now a 7-0 game. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
To throw on second down, Donaldson. He finds his man, complete. That's Miles. Finding room at midfield. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Straight ahead, Walker. And some space here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Back to throw. Donaldson. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain there on the play, but that all gets wiped out with a penalty.
Well, that's a setback, but all the good play callers, they just move on. They find something else in the playbook. They can attack this defense, and they go right back on the offensive on this play.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Looking to throw. Donaldson. He finds his man, complete. That's Miles. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Brandon, you know this is going to be discussed because this is the fear of all the backs when they run this type of a route. They've got to find the football, and sometimes they don't see the defender. And in this case, he took a pretty good shot for his efforts, but give him credit, able to hold on to the football.
And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are an extra point away from drawing level. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Well, the football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incomplete situation, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw. Buckner. This is caught by Evans. A big pickup, 18 yards, but they still stop him well short of the marker.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. 35 yards that time on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with his better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
Off the play fake, Donaldson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett put that sack by his name in the stat sheet. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. He's got a man, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Running left is Walker. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Operating from the gun, Donaldson. He finds his man, complete. It's Miles. The Seahawks on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try for the first with Walker. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and get the first down.
Throwing on first down, Donaldson. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up. I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Buckner. He'll get that out to the flat to White.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. From the gun on third down, Buckner, and he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw, Buckner. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Donaldson. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. They go play action here on 1st down. He completes this to Walker. He'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there. And now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Back to throw. Donaldson trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. And the Buccaneers are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points no matter what. At worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun. Buckner airing this one out for Evans. This is caught inside the 15. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll look to throw again. Going for Evans, but that pass is intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
Well, Brandon, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to give the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get him next time out.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this 1st half will come to an end. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando, there standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. One touchdown ball game, 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Second down, back to Fournette. And the result here the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by the Seahawk defense. A third down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Cotton brings it in over the middle. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18. On first down, Buckner gets the check down throw to White. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, that flag puts them on their heels a little bit more defensively as the officials walk it upfield.
Yeah, and they can blame the officials all they want, but bottom line, it's their own fault because, to me, that was an avoidable call. Stay focused and avoid major mistakes like that.
And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points, but he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. On 1st and 10, Donaldson. He'll find Metcalf. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL, but I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that, so he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
Takes it at the 7. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. Boy, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today
and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
This is caught. Touchdown, Seahawks. Ken Walker, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Austin McGinnis out for the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7.
Makes the score Seahawks 28, Buccaneers 7.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Take over first down 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Fournette once more on second down. He takes this for 3 to the 29. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner, because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
They're going to try and throw. He's got Otten, and he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great
pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. So his first sack of the game, but CD, not his first of the season. He has shown an ability to get after the quarterback here early in his rookie year.
Yeah, and that just goes along with everything else we already knew about him. We knew his ability to tackle and to make plays behind the line of scrimmage. But any kind of pass rush you get almost seems like a bonus. I think they'll use him that way a lot more moving forward.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Throwing on third and long. Buckner. And that will be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now as he's on here to punt it away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to play.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. 49 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Donaldson. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Bucs are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
To throw on 2nd down, Buckner. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Although a jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Garibay on to attempt the point after. It's up and good, and it's now 28-14. They'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And the pick 6 we just saw makes things a little more interesting. Still, though, a 2-possession game as they control their destiny in this 4th quarter. And this will be a Seahawks first down as the tackle made at about the 38. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Donaldson, wide open receiver, complete. Touchdown! He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And the last time out, they had the good drive going. You get in the red zone, they throw the interception. Not their first pick of the game either, so we'll see if they're more careful, more cautious here on this drive.
Yeah, nothing worse than repeat mistakes, right? You end up coughing the ball up, you end up throwing a pick, everything goes awry, and now points don't go up on the board. I just heard a fan scream out, I thought the idea was to score points. Yeah, they're getting a little restless too.
Throwing on first down, Buckner. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Buried behind the line by Christian Wilkins. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Looking to throw, Buckner. And his throw here is incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing.
And my goodness, another interception. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And I think they are going to get this one back. Boy, that would have been something. Double turnovers. But instead, they'll keep the possession on the INT. Walker now on 1st and 10. And he's got some space here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 77 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Back to Walker on 1st down. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
2nd and goal from the 1. Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
42. Buccaneers 14. Michael Dixon, the kickoff for Seattle.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See it. Now White lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth, it doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Seahawks are closing in on a third straight victory to start the campaign. Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 5. Fournette on the counter, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fielded at the 33. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
2nd and 9 from the 44. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 103 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
10 yards and a Seattle 1st down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, They've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Here we go, here we go.
And Walker once more. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Seahawks, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans.
The Indianapolis Colts are now on the clock. And now on the clock, it's the 49ers. The Pittsburgh Steelers on the clock now. On the clock now, the Chicago Bears. It's the Bucs now on the clock. Now on the clock, the Washington Commanders. The Minnesota Vikings are now on the clock. It's the Carolina Panthers now on the clock. With the next selection, the New York Jets. It's the Detroit Lions now on the clock. Next up, it's the Dolphins on the clock. The New England Patriots are now on the clock. The Washington Commanders are now on the clock. With the next pick, the Miami Dolphins are on the clock. The Baltimore Ravens are on the clock now. On the clock now, it's the Tennessee Titans. Next up, the Commanders are on the clock. On the clock now, it's the Miami Dolphins. The Cleveland Browns are now on the clock. The Miami Dolphins now on the clock. On the clock now, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Detroit Lions now on the clock. The Chiefs are on the clock. With the next selection, it's the Washington Commanders. Now the Seattle Seahawks are on the clock. The Las Vegas Raiders are on the clock. The New York Giants are now on the clock. Next up, it's the Dolphins on the clock. Now on the clock, the Rams. On the clock now, it's the Green Bay Packers. It's the Bills now on the clock. On the clock now, the Dallas Cowboys. It's now the Indianapolis Colts selection. The Los Angeles Chargers now on the clock. It's the Steelers now on the clock. The Chicago Bears are now on the clock. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on the clock. Now on the clock, the Texans. And now on the clock, the Minnesota Vikings. With the next selection, the Carolina Panthers on the clock. On the clock now, the Seattle Seahawks. On the clock now, the Los Angeles Rams. With the next pick, the Miami Dolphins are on the clock. It's the New England Patriots, now on the clock. The Chargers are up now. They're on the clock. The Bengals now on the clock. On the clock now, it's the Los Angeles Chargers. Next up, the Titans are on the clock. The Seattle Seahawks are now on the clock. With the next selection, the Ravens are on the clock. Now we turn to the Eagles. They're on the clock. The Los Angeles Rams now on the clock. The New York Giants on the clock. With the next selection, the Lions are on the clock. On the clock now, the Kansas City Chiefs. It's now the Arizona Cardinals selection. They're on the clock. The Jaguars are on the clock. Now on the clock, the Washington Commanders. Next up, the Cleveland Browns are on the clock. With the next selection, the Browns are on the clock. The Green Bay Packers are now on the clock. The Washington Commanders are now on the clock. It's the Cowboys now on the clock. Next up, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on the clock. Now on the clock, the Los Angeles Chargers. The Pittsburgh Steelers are now on the clock. It's the Bears now on the clock. On the clock now, it's the Denver Broncos. On the clock now, the Houston Texans. The Minnesota Vikings now on the clock. On the clock now, the New England Patriots. Next up, it's the Seahawks on the clock. The Los Angeles Rams are up. They're on the clock. And now, on the clock, it's the Arizona Cardinals. On the clock now, it's the Miami Dolphins. Next up, the Jets are on the clock. The 49ers on the clock now. Now on the clock, the Rams. The Tennessee Titans are now on the clock. It's the Bucs now on the clock. The Baltimore Ravens now on the clock. On the clock now, the Los Angeles Rams. The Miami Dolphins now on the clock. With the next selection, the Saints are on the clock. On the clock now, the Detroit Lions. On the clock now, the Houston Texans. Now on the clock, it's the Las Vegas Raiders. Now on the clock, the Giants. It's now the San Francisco 49ers pick. They're up. Now the Seattle Seahawks are on the clock. Next up, it's the Packers on the clock. The Buffalo Bills are now on the clock. The Los Angeles Chargers now on the clock. Next up, the Commanders are on the clock. The New York Jets are now on the clock. With the next selection, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Chicago Bears are on the clock now. Next up, the Indianapolis Colts are on the clock. The Houston Texans are now on the clock. It's the Cleveland Browns now on the clock. The Panthers are on the clock. The Cleveland Browns are now on the clock. Next up, the Patriots are on the clock. The Cardinals on the clock now. The New England Patriots are now on the clock. With the next pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars are on the clock. On the clock now, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock. On the clock now, the Baltimore Ravens. The Denver Broncos are on the clock. The Baltimore Ravens are on the clock now. The Philadelphia Eagles on the clock now. With the next pick, the Kansas City Chiefs are now on the clock. On the clock now, the New Orleans Saints. The Kansas City Chiefs, now on the clock. On the clock now, the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Las Vegas Raiders now on the clock. And now on the clock, it's the 49ers. The Chargers are up now. They're on the clock. The Colts now on the clock. The Green Bay Packers are on the clock. It's the Buffalo Bills now on the clock. On the clock now, it's the Los Angeles Chargers. On the clock now, the Buffalo Bills. The New York Jets on the clock now. On the clock now, the Seattle Seahawks. On the clock now, the Chicago Bears. The Indianapolis Colts are now on the clock. Now on the clock, the Texans. It's now the Vikings' turn. On the clock. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on the clock. The Seattle Seahawks are now on the clock. Next up, the Cleveland Browns are on the clock. The Arizona Cardinals are now on the clock. Next up, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on the clock. With the next pick, the Raiders are on the clock. With the next selection, the Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock. It's the Dallas Cowboys now on the clock. Next up, it's the Broncos on the clock. With the next selection, the Ravens are on the clock. It's the Philadelphia Eagles now on the clock. Next up, it's the Dolphins on the clock. It's the New Orleans Saints now on the clock. It's the Detroit Lions now on the clock. The Chiefs are on the clock. With the next selection, the Browns are on the clock. The Jaguars are on the clock now. The Las Vegas Raiders are on the clock. The New York Giants are now on the clock. On the clock now, it's the Atlanta Falcons. With the next selection, the New York Jets. On the clock now, It's the Green Bay Packers. The Dallas Cowboys are now on the clock.